Hi guys, we just wanted to reach out to you with some information about how to use the ball a bit better. We just put on a workshop and a lot of you weren't able to make it, and currently some of you aren't able to get to your gyms or out and about, so we wanted to send a resource out how to self-treat at home with the use of the ball. I'm going to ask Amy to lay down on her back, and we're going to kind of check in with ourselves and see where maybe we're having tension. So just laying down in a comfortable position, allowing yourself to soften and feel. Maybe one leg is turned out more than the other. Maybe one knee does not feel connected to the mat. Maybe you feel like you're having a difficult time to fill your stomach with a nice deep breath. One shoulder might feel heavier. Just taking survey of what you feel. So running through a few good deep breaths. You might put one hand on your stomach, one on your chest, allowing yourself to soften into a deep breath, really thinking about allowing yourself to relax. This is just a piece to use after we use the ball to reassess where else you might need the ball.
Yeah, so I'm noticing like this part feels up a little bit, and I'm tight up here in my right shoulder and behind my neck.
So with her right hip being up, she might need more of the glue in her left side because it might be tighter. So kind of right at the base of the spine.
I'm putting it, hopefully you guys can see, I'm putting it right under my sacrum, slightly on the left. I don't want to totally put it on the left because even though my right feels high, I'm not 100% sure what needs to release yet. So I'm putting it right under my sacrum, and that left side does feel like it needs some pressure.
And then we're gonna let Amy soften over the ball. So we want to encourage you guys to feel with what you're sensing within your system, and allowing your tissue to feel like it's melting like butter, pulling apart like taffy. So allowing her to sit and sink. Typically releases start to occur 90 seconds all the way through 5 minutes or longer. So really allowing yourself time and space with use of the ball. And just kind of continue in a rhythmic, relaxed breath.
And you guys don't have to leave your knees bent. It felt like quite a bit of pressure. So I just let my knees prop towards each other so I don't have to work to hold them up. So they're just propped on each other, I can still relax. And as my back's letting go, I'm definitely feeling a pull into my glute and up right along here. So I'm just sinking into that, breathing into that. You absolutely can straighten your legs. I feel like if I straighten them right now, it'd be too much, and then I wouldn't be able to sink and relax. You need to be able to have enough pressure that it does something, but it should be comfortable enough that you can really melt into it.
So like Amy mentioned, she felt a connection kind of going up her left side. So paying attention to those pieces, they may indicate where you need to use the ball next, or that area might just be a larger soften. Amy's softening into it where her neck kind of just let go. So we just want you to let go of everything. No bracing. Allow yourself to soften and even soften more. So I feel like her breathing just changed. She might feel like things have softened, but sticking with it a little bit longer, I feel like there's another piece to it that's happening. She's letting her legs soften even more, letting it go deeper, allowing herself to truly feel. Healing occurs with feeling. So she was able to soften that other leg. Doesn't feel as intense to her. Things are shifting. Kind of twitches within the system are normal. It's your body's way of reorganizing. You might feel some quivers or shakes. You might have some rapid breathing. It's all normal. Let these things occur. Another shift or release as her right leg is softening. And allow yourself to sit with it a little bit longer until you feel complete. Kind of the idea of when you see a cat stretch in the morning, that big stretch that we all get, allowing our bodies to take over the movement, allowing us to soften and stretch. So kind of what we see with Amy, she might need to put the ball in her solar plexus, under her neck for that extension that's happening, that thawing and quivering. Allow it to take over. So allow yourself to sit with it in moments of stillness, or when you feel like maybe you're done and your system's settled. It would be removing the ball, reassessing where your attention lies, and then finding a new space to sink in. So allowing yourself to settle.
Definitely resting more flat here. Not as much ache in that left sacral area.
So kind of just take survey within your system again. So Amy might need the ball mid-back, or...
Don't let the shaking freak you out, you guys. It's usually just thawing. And for me, a lot of times I was able to finally get in a little bit of a home workout yesterday. I did some core, my toe's still broken, so I did some careful little jump squats with my shoe on, my hard shoe. And so I just build up tension a lot of times, and so that shaking is just that letting go of that. So yeah, here could be a really critical area for me right now, or I could head up and see, I felt like my neck and shoulder, a lot of that tension released as my head unwound some. So this feels like the most critical spot for me next. So you guys can assess and get a feel for that. But we really want you to get a sense of how you can get a lot of treatment out of this on your own. Definitely have to take the time.
Yes.
Plus I did treat up here yesterday after my workout. Holy heck.
So her saying holy heck, it might be a little intense. You might start with your knees bent again like she did in the first position, but finding a position that you're allowing yourself to melt and soften. That you're able to take that breath without feeling like you're bracing. Take your brakes off and allow yourself to soften. So again, that quivering or shake is her body's way of reorganizing. Allow yourself to connect and see if there's points throughout your system that are pulling or you're feeling untangling happening as well. For me, I see that maybe Amy's right shoulder needs some assistance next. Shoulder, scapula, even side of her rib cage is where some of her stuff is coming from. There is no wrong movement when our bodies are releasing. Allow the movement to occur. Allow your body to be fluid. You might feel like you rolled over one spot and your body wants to come back to it. Allow yourself to soften and go deeper. So again, in moments of stillness, allow yourself to soften and let it all go. And see if there's another layer that needs to release. A lot of times we're not complete and we rush through, skipping over important areas.
I feel like it needs, like you said, Melissa was completely right. What she could see as I was shifting was that it needs, it's kind of right under right here, you guys. I don't know if you can see, but it was trying to move up a little bit, but it released all the way down my right side into the outside of this hip. Oh, well. was coming up into right here a lot.
So give yourself grace, give yourself space to see what is next, see where that next connection piece is. We just adjusted her ball, and now it's able to get into that shoulder where she's feeling that tension into her neck. So again, softening, allowing yourself to stretch. And even think of your arm or your leg maybe as a telescope. Things might feel like they want to lengthen to get that go-go gadget stretch through your whole system. Amy's laughing at my analogy.
It's just funny you say go-go gadget. I used to give the analogy of imagining there were like fairies on a string flying away from one end to the other of where you're feeling that stretch. So of course I pick flying fairies and you pick go-to-go gadget.
Fairies are helpful too. String at the top of your head.
We are in the wings room.
Yes. I think of Go-Go Gadget being the old cartoon. My other analogy is if you think about a pine cone that's wet and then the next day it dries out in the sun or opens up, that expansion is what we're looking for your tissue to do. We're looking for your tissue to expand and rehydrate and find its new lengthened position for more fluidity within your whole system.
I don't know if you guys just saw my head twitch movement, but watch for places your body wants to skip over.
Mm-hmm.
My head tried to whip all the way over to the right through a slightly painful spot. Don't let yourself do that. Feel it, come back to it. Not that you want to stop your body's natural motion. We call that unwinding. But like I felt myself try to skip it. It's right there.
Our bodies have been protecting or bracing against those spots for long enough. Allow yourself to feel and process them. So if thoughts about your grocery list or what you're doing next arise, let those thought bubbles come and let them float away, softening down, shutting down your eyes, and allow yourself time for you. So her neck's kind of stopping at that point she's talked about. Right side of her neck has been feeling tight. Looks like it's wanting a stretch. Rib cage is getting some rotation.
and brought me back to the starting point. When it came back around, the ball ended up where I started when I moved it up, and there was no more attention as I was just laying there on the ball like that. So it's going to be different for everybody, you guys, but we just want you to kind of see how it might go and have a better idea of what to look for, what to feel for, how to really wait it out. I mean, that just really released 2 huge areas for me. And how long's our video been, Melissa?
21 minutes.
So, like we tell you guys when you come in, you know, you're looking at 5 to 8 minutes on any given area to really get good releases. So we're hoping this can be a tool for you to see that more, maybe just be on a spot as Melissa's talking you through it, feel for that. We're also happy to jump on a Skype call with you guys and look at your posture and help you know what to hone in on or find a key spot, and maybe talk you through some of that breathing, talk you through some of that tension, like the things that she could see in my ribs and the things in my back and what was shifting. Until you get a better sense of how to follow that on your own, we're happy to help coach you through some of those, especially while people are more at home than normal.